Hello everyone, this is Parag from channel Qtomation, and in today's session we will see unit testing. So in previous session we have seen the dynamic testing types, right? So during verification we have seen static testing technique types, whereas we have also seen there is dynamic testing types. So there are different levels of dynamic testing. So first one is unit testing, after that integration testing, after that system testing, and after that acceptance testing. So these are all dynamic testing types. So from which the first one is unit testing. So what exactly is unit? So unit is a single component or module of software. So whenever we take any software, right? So any software is made up of different modules. So if you see any banking application, so banking application will have login module, it will have amount transfer feature, it will have account balance, it will have request checkbook feature, it will have transfer money feature, it will have adding a payee feature. So there can be multiple number of features. So unit is nothing but a single module or single feature. So whenever any software is developed, right, so it will not be developed at once, it will not be developed all at once, right? So basically what happens, whenever a software development is done, a individual developer will first work on any single unit. So it will perform coding for single unit or single feature. So that unit is nothing but single component or module of a software. So once developer starts coding of single module and he finishes the development of the one module, then he will perform some kind of a testing. So that is known as a unit testing. So unit testing is conducted by developer after developing or coding the single module of the software. So for example, for the development of banking application, first developer will develop one single module for login, right? So first individual module for login will be created. And once that login module is created, developer will perform some basic testing on that module, right? So that is known as unit testing. So unit testing is a white box testing technique. So we have seen black box and white box testing technique. So for white box testing technique, coding knowledge is required, correct? So as that specific module that is developed by developer, right? So that specific coding is done by that specific developer. So that developer is known ki what he has coded or what logic he has used, what is the code he has created. So that's why first testing round that is conducted by developer is known as unit testing, and for that coding knowledge is required. That's why it is known as a white box testing technique. So unit testing is a white box testing technique. It is conducted by developer after developing the single module of software. So similarly, multiple developers can parallelly work on multiple modules. For example, if you see first developer will work on login module, another developer might be working on amount transfer module, another developer might be working on account balance module. So they will individually first test each modules, and that testing is known as unit testing. And for the unit testing, different type of tools can be used. For example, JUnit, TestNG. So these are the tools which are used by developers for the unit testing. Unit testing, what is the benefit of unit testing? So after doing the unit testing, developer will find some issues, right? So it will help developer to fix those defects very early in the development phase. So unit testing is the first phase, right? So after the coding is done, unit testing is the first layer of testing or first level of testing, right? So if you see, unit testing is first level of testing. And if the issues are found, so developer can find the issues and they will fix those issues during the unit testing phase. So as it's a very early phase, right? So it is the first phase of development. So that's why there is a possibility to occur a smaller number of defects in upcoming testing levels. So if the most of the issues are found during the unit testing and if they are fixed, then there are very less chances that more issues will find in coming layers, right? So that's why unit testing is important, because it helps the developer to identify the defects in very early phase. And after the unit testing, if unit testing is conducted correctly, lots of issues can get fixed during the early phases of software development. And because of that, there is very less possibility to occur a smaller number of defects in upcoming levels. So once the unit testing is conducted by developer, there is possibility that small number of issues will happen in further stages of testing, because most of the issues will be fixed during the unit testing process. So that is the main benefit of unit testing. So unit testing is nothing but white box testing technique which is conducted by developer on a single module which is developed by the specific developer. And different type of tools can be used, for example JUnit and TestNG. And as a tester, normally we don't have to worry about unit testing because normally unit testing is conducted by developers only, and coding knowledge is required for unit testing. And there are different type of testing techniques for unit testing also. So even as a tester, it's okay if you don't understand that much, but just understand on high level, because during the interview process, interviewer might ask you about unit testing techniques. But as a tester perspective, normally unit testing is conducted by developers only. So just understand this concept on very high level. For example, there are different unit testing techniques such as basis path testing, control structures testing, which includes conditional coverage and loops coverage. So we will see on the high level what exactly is basis path testing, what is control structure testing, which is nothing but conditional coverage and loops coverage. So first one is basis path testing. So basis path testing, it's also white box testing technique conducted by developer. So developer write the program, right? To develop the specific individual module, developer will write some line of codes. There will be n number of line of codes. So what exactly basis path testing is? So basis path testing ensures that all the program statements are nothing but the line of codes the developer has written for that specific module. So it ensures that all the program statements are executed and tested at least once. Means whatever different line of code developer has written, that needs to be executed, right? So there will be n number of lines, so at least each line should get executed at least once, or at least each and every line should be tested at least once during that specific module testing, right? So that is the benefit of basis path testing, because the main advantage of conducting basis path testing is that it will it will help developer to find the such lines which are not executed. For example, basis path testing can reduce the number of redundant code. For example, if during the writing the coding, if developer, there is possibility that developer writes some line of code which might not be used in the actual execution of that specific code. So that is known as redundant code. So such code is not required in that specific line of codes, right? So that if that code is not executed, or if that code is not required at all, then there is no use of keeping that code in that specific project, right? So basis path testing is nothing but ensuring that all the program statements, so whatever logic developer has written via the line of codes, that needs to be executed at least once, right? If developer has written some line of codes, there might be different conditions, right? So that lines should be executed at least once. So that is the main benefit of basis path testing. It will help developer to find the redundant code in his overall code, right? So it will help the developer to find some redundant line of code which might not be used during the execution of that specific module. So that is the white box testing technique used by developer, and that is known as basis path testing. It is used during the unit testing. Similarly, there is control structure testing, right? So control structure testing involves couple of types. For example, conditional coverage and loops coverage. So what exactly conditional coverage means? So whenever developer writes the program, there can be multiple conditional statements, right? So there can be multiple conditional statements. For example, what are exactly are conditional statements? So just understand on the high level, because normally unit testing is conducted by developers only. But as a tester, we should know on high level. For example, if there is some simple program to find the largest of two numbers. For example, if you see, right, a equals to 10, b equals to 20, and I want to find out. So this program is for finding the largest of these two numbers. So we will use some condition here. So if you see, we have used condition that if a greater than b, if value of a is greater than b, then it will print a is largest. If value of a is greater than b, then it will print a is largest. Else, if a is not greater than b, else means if this condition is not matching, then it will print b is largest. So this is the conditional statement. So basically this is the conditional statement used by developer during the coding, right? So if a is 10, so for example here a is 10 and b is 20. So in this case, a is not greater than b, right? So is a, that is 10, greater than b? No, right? So it will not enter in this statement. So it will not print a is largest, because in this case this condition is not satisfied. So it will perform or it will print the b is largest, because first condition is not matched. So it will perform or it will print the second statement, that is b is largest. So during the unit testing, so during the control structure testing, what developer will verify? He will verify whether all the conditions are working correctly or not. If he will simply switch the values, for example, if a is 20 and b is 10, so in that case first condition will be true, right? In that case, as a is 20 and b is 10, the first condition should satisfy and it will print a is largest. If a is 30, let's say b is 10, so in that condition second condition will be true, so it will print b is largest. So similarly, these type of conditions are checked during the conditional coverage, which is the part of control structure testing. So that's what you do, that's what developer normally performs during the conditional coverage of the control structure testing. So this is a simple example. It's okay even if you don't understand, just go through on the high level, just understand what exactly testing techniques type used by developer during the unit testing, right? So this was the conditional coverage, right? There is similarly concept of loops. So what exactly are loops? For example, let's take a simple example. If I want to write a simple program to print the numbers between 1 to 5, so I want to simply print 1 to 5 numbers. So what I will do manually, if I want to print, so I will simply use print 1. So after that I will use print 2. Similarly, I will write print 3, print 4 and print 5 times, right? But what if I want to print 1 to 100? So I will have to write this statement 100 times. And even after that, let's say if I want to write the program to print the numbers from 1 to 10,000. So in that case, I will have to write print statement 10,000 times, right? So that is not the feasible approach. That is not the correct approach, right? So for such situations, normally in programming languages, we have to use the concept of looping. So whenever we have to execute the same statement multiple times, then we have to use loops concept. So what exactly loops, right? So if you see, so here, if I want to print 1 to 5, right? So what I will do, I will simply use a while condition here. So this is the kind of a one looping statement. So I will mention variable I which equals to 1. Since I have to print value till 5, I will define one more variable that holds the value of 5. So here max is 5, I is 1, right? And after that, I will put one condition, that is while I less than equal to max. So here I is 1 and max is 5. So while I, that is 1, is less than or equal to 5, this condition will be true. So after that, it will enter in the this block, right? So it will enter in this curly brackets ka block. So once this condition is true, because I is 1, max is 5, 1 is less than equal to 5, then it will print I. So what is the value of I currently? It's 1. So it will simply print 1. So in the output, it will print 1, right? So once printing, after printing 1, it will move to the next statement. What is the next statement? Next statement is I is equal to I plus 1. So here we are incrementing the value of I by 1. So here I will become I plus 1, that is I is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. So I will become true. I will become 2. So value of I will become 2. And it will again go on the first statement, that is it will again check the condition. It will again check whether I is less than equal to max. So here now I value is 2. So 2 and max is 5. So 2 less than equal to 5. Yes, that is true. That means it again enter in the following block. So it will print the value of I. Now value, what is the value of I in this time? So in this time, a value of I is 2, right? So 2 will be printed. And after that, it will again move to the next statement. So what is the next statement? Incrementing the value of I by 1. Now value of I will be 2 plus 1, that is 3. So value of I will become 3. And it will again check the condition now. So whether while I less than equal to 5, so yes, I is still 3, 3 is less than equal to 5, that will again print I. Now here, what is the value of I? That will print 3. Similarly, it will again increase the value by 1. Now it will become value of I will become 4. So it will check whether 4 is less than equal to 5. Yes, that is again true. So it will print the value of I, that is 4. So it will print 4. It will now again increase the value of I by 1. So I plus 1 will be 4 plus 1, that is 5. So I will become 5 now. It will again check the condition. whether I, that is 5, is less than equal to 5? Yes, that is still true because 5 is less than equal to 5. Max value is 5. So the condition is true. It will again print the value of I. What is the value of I here? 5. So it will print the 5 now, right? And now again it will increment the value. So 5 plus 1, that is 6. Now value of I is now 6. So it will again check the condition. While I less than equal to 5. So I is 6 now. So is 6 less than or equal to 5? No, right? Because 6 is not less than equal to 5. 6 is not less than 5 or 6 is not equal to 5. So this condition is now become false. So now as this condition is false, it will not enter. It will not enter in the next statement. So it will not enter in the block. So it will simply skip the statement, right? So it will come out of this loop. So this is the basically concept of loop. So it will simply print 1 to 5 because the maximum value is 5 here, right? So this is the concept of looping. So similarly, if I want to print the number from 1 to 500, so what I will do, I will simply use I as 1. I will simply put max is equal to 500. So that will eventually print up to 1 to 500. So that is the benefit of using looping coverage, loops statement. And what developer will check during the loops coverage, during the unit testing process or during the control structure testing? So developer will simply check whether checking the changing the values of the maximum statement, or whether these conditions are working correctly or not, whether the loop statements are correctly working or not. That will be checked by the developer during the loops coverage in the control structure testing, right? So this is the fundamental, or this is the basic of unit testing. So basically during the unit testing, developer will simply check various kind of a conditions are working correctly or not, various type of looping statement are working correctly or not, right? So that is basically a control structure testing. It is conducted by developer only, right? So as a tester, we will not normally perform the unit testing. So unit testing is normally conducted by developers because developer has written that code and he has the knowledge of the coding, right? So developer has knowledge of the coding and he has written the code and he knows what exactly condition he has used in that code, what exactly loops, what are the different type of loops he has used in that code, correct? Because there can be multiple conditions present in the code, there can be multiple loops which are used in the code. So these are basically just a simple example, but in actual code there can be a n number of loops, or there can be a multiple number of conditions statements which are used in that specific code. So during the control structure testing, developer normally verifies all the conditional coverages and loops coverages, whether conditions and loops are working correctly or not, right? So this is about the unit testing. So we have seen that there are basically unit testing is nothing but a single component which is developed by developer. He will perform some testing on that specific module, right? So unit testing is nothing but it is performed on the single unit or single module. It is performed by developer after developing the single module of the software. It is a white box testing technique because the coding knowledge is required, and various testing tools that can be used like JUnit and TestNG by the developer for during the unit testing process. Unit testing is the first layer of testing, right? If you see, after developing the first or individual module, unit testing will be performed. And if the developer finds the issues during the early phases of the unit testing, so it will help avoiding the multiple issues during the later stages of testing, right? So that's why unit testing is important. And we have also seen there are different techniques like basis part testing and control structure testing, which includes conditional coverages and loops coverages. Basis part testing is for ensuring that each and every line get executed at least once. So basically there are multiple lines which are written by developer. Each and every line should get executed at least once, and it will help developer to identify the redundant code, right? Also we have seen control structure testing, which includes conditional coverage and loops coverage. So that's about the unit testing. So thank you for watching this video.